No score after one on EA Sports. Now a 2nd and 10. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And this has been an excellent drive to start the game off. Move the ball downfield well. Now they're set up at 1st and goal after that last really nice run. Exactly how a coach would draw things up. This is how you want to start a game, and that's all they've preached all week long about how they wanted to come out of the game.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco from 3 yards out. And the Chiefs post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the 1st quarter before we spilled into the 2nd, and finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 27. In motion goes Patrick. Here's Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Now here's Mahomes. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And all the way down 29. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelsey for a big one. 41 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This 2nd and 4. Now it's Mahomes again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they say it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. Flush to his right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 14-0. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Still fighting for more. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Goff. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
Another big play right there. And this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. On play action, it's Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Rashee Rice, 33 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 21-0.
Lions, nothing.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the...